to shine a positive light and say, even though these people did what they did to me, I'm giving their children an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm giving their children a chance to play them, for them to see what their parents did to me without realizing that. Hopefully, by them playing these parts, they learn from it, which children do. And they won't make the same mistakes and the same general curses as their parents did without even knowing it. It'll be a lesson for them as well. And it makes them better people. That way, you know, they won't think I just put their parents in jail for no reason. That way it won't seem like, because here's the thing I'm also looking at. These people going to jail for what they did to me. And I figure what better way for me to make that back? And not, this is something I thought about. I'm about to put their parents in jail or mess their lives up forever because of what they did to me. But to be able to make that part right, because I hate children being without their parents. And I want to make sure these children are taken care of. That's why I'm doing it. It's not just about that. I'm about to put their parents in jail. And I don't want these kids hating me because they don't understand why their parents are in jail. So I want them to play the part. They will see it from my perspective why I had to do what I had to do. And that way they won't make the same mistakes. Because I would do no different if it was my child. I wouldn't want my child to hate the person that had to put me in jail for doing something wrong. I'm the one that made I'm the one that made the decision to do something, not thinking that I would lose my child, not thinking I would lose everything. All I thought about is the love of man. All I thought about is following behind everybody named mom. No, everything I do, I think about my son. I think about how it affects him and how, you know, it impacts his life. So, that's why I'm doing this. Some of them are single parents. A lot of these people did not think about their children when they did what they did to me. They didn't think about, I have parents, how my parents would be impacted by this. When people do negative things to people, they don't think about the people they leave behind, whether it be you killing someone or whether someone doing something to you. You don't think about that. All you think about is, I want what I want, and I'm not gonna rest till I get what I want. If that means I gotta rob, cheat, steal, or whatever, I'm gonna get what I want. That's not how the way the world works. You don't do things to people and think that somebody's gonna let you get away with it. No. Some of these kids are gonna be without parents. And I wanna make sure that they can care of. That's why. Because their parents are going to jail in this situation. But the least thing I can do is make sure their children will be okay. And what person as a victim would ever do that? Most people that are victims don't care what happened to the kids. I care about children. And I have seen many kids turn out wrong without having a parent. And as a person that is a single parent, that is what I think about when I do everything. My child's gonna be without a mother. When I leave this earth and I die tomorrow, whenever I die, I have to think about the fact my child is gonna be without a mother. And what's gonna happen to my child. And what made me think about this was one day I was thinking about that And I said, my mom said, oh, they're getting older. She said she had to have surgery. And she had to have eye surgery. And I thought about that and I said to myself, this is what made me start my business. This is what really made me start evaluating things when your parents get older. See, it's one thing if your parents get killed tragically and you weren't old enough, but for those of y'all who lost your parents, then you understand where I'm going with this. There are a lot of people who don't have their parents. So if anything happens to them, they fall. So a lot of people who lost their parents don't got time to be doing negative things because the fact of the matter, they're not, if anything happens to them, they have nobody as far as their children are concerned. But a lot of y'all don't think about that when y'all do the negative things that you do. You don't think about the fact there are other people that are impacted by you being absent, aka your kids. You sitting up here going after people for whatever reason I don't even begin to know, but you do. That's why I don't do stuff like this. I don't do negativity because I don't want to leave my child. So for y'all, when y'all sit there and say, oh, my child ain't went nowhere. I ain't dead. I didn't leave my child nowhere. You make no sense when you say that. I'm like,
welcome to
where did I leave
the
my child? I didn't leave my child nowhere.
Intro Shopping Network. Unfortunately, we took a slight detour, but I am on a different computer working on intros right now in the background.
So, don't know what I'm talking about. I ain't leaving my child. I may have to temporarily go somewhere, but I ain't leaving my child. I ain't dropping them off, sign no papers, and put them in an adoption place. What are you talking about?
Blue Rain in the building.
No, that's what I'm by myself now. Because I'm not doing
C. Wilson
anything
was the
to
first.
jeopardize
And
me not being here
Evelyn
for my
Underwood is in the house also.
Sorry, what's happening? I don't know what
y'all can hear. Can y'all hear me?
Me? No.
I got this all Jimmy rigged.
I love my child. And my child's autistic. If something happened to me, they're going to put him in a group home. That's why I ain't trying to leave here. No time soon. I'd rather him leave first before I do. Just so I know that he's going to be in the same place. That's why I ain't got time for y'all and this negativity.
Can I get a sound check?
Because if something happened to me, my child going to end up in a group home. And then my parents are not exactly that young. My sister's not going to take on my child. So, no. That's why I'm not letting y'all stress me out. That's why everything changed for me. That was y'all not grasping. Some of us appreciate our lives. So all this stuff about whoops, all this other stuff, we don't care about this mess. People who got children with special needs, our perceptions are very different than y'all's. Our perception is if we leave this earth, our children are going to be screwed. So we do everything we can, humanly possible, to stay on this planet. So all this worrying about whether I get a man or not, all this other stuff, that don't matter. What matters is our children. We think about our children before we do the things that we do. We think about their happiness. I'm not Aya. I'm not Malia. I'm not leaving my son for no man. I don't care. You don't accept him, you don't accept me. And I'd rather be alone with my child and both of us traveling the world and being happy with my autistic child to sit up here and deal with all this nonsense. So at the end of the day, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. These people made a choice to not only try to destroy my life, but my sons, my mom, my dad, my jobs. These people have no regard and they don't care. And the only reason they keep doing it is because people keep allowing them to do it. And that's the problem. People just think, okay, I'm just gonna take my channel down. That ain't gonna stop these people. The only thing that's gonna stop their ass is that they go to jail. But then when their kids are sitting up in there,
Kids again.
do you know how hard it is for a victim? Because you are taking somebody. See, this don't go well either way. Whether you're the victim or whether you're the person that did something. The victim is getting ready to take a person, either way it go. A person may lose
She
their
can't
life.
even make it make sense.
Another person still going to end up losing their life.
I'm in the
One
studio
person
working
lose
on
their life, the other
intros
person
on a
lose their
different
freedom.
computer, but she
It
talking
ain't
so
working.
crazy tonight.
No.
I had to stream her audios.
I'm not
It's
losing my
crazy.
freedom and I'm not losing my life either. They go hand in
She
hand.
saw my video
And you
after
might as well say
me
you
putting a
dead. You
video
sit up in
like
jail
that.
for 25
Well, she
years
didn't
life.
watch it.
But you want
She
to sit up
assumed what
here and
was in
take the
it.
risk of
But
playing
you would have
Russian
thought she wouldn't have
roulette with
took
your
it
life,
here.
not thinking
This is
of your
confirming what
freedom.
I was saying.
I'm sorry, I think about my freedom. These motherfuckers, these groups don't give a damn about no goddamn freedom. And that's what all of y'all need to understand. Do you think all these motherfuckers, when this Nature Boy thing comes to an end, do you not think
That's your
about
first
the fact of the
mistake.
matter that Velvet ass
Assuming
going to
what
jail?
somebody else
See,
think.
I hope Mr. and Mrs. Marquez hear what I'm about to say. She going to jail. Allegio has got all of y'all motherfuckers to go to jail.
Speak louder because it makes you
This
sound
one
more
man
foolish. She
has
think when she
caused
raised her
everybody-
voice, it sounds more
That's
truthful.
me. To go against
I'm
God.
gonna raise my
Do you
voice, and they really
understand
gonna
that?
believe me because I raised my voice.
Do you not see this in front of your face? But those of y'all who've been in this from the beginning of the situation, you have seen it. Y'all was in there that day. We saw Crystal Hillings singing. We saw that thing turn to 3 demons. Well, 4 and 1 on the side. Mr. Marquez, when he first came in, was not the person that you're sitting there looking at. And that man was the first one that said something about that man having a demon on him. And now Mr. Marquez has turned out to be no differently than Allegio is.
And so,
Him and his wife.
What's up, Will in the building?
Hi, his mama.
Insult to injury.
Let's just tell her story.
Let's just insult
His
everyone.
mama was supposed to go
Let's
over
go
there,
down the list.
but he didn't want her. So she gave up Pice instead. Tron's family. Tron is adopted his rich white family. And I don't know the whole story with that, but I know Tron was on drugs really bad when he
Gossip.
met Allegio.
Rumors.
And Allegio helped him get off drugs. The reason that Tron was so indebted to Allegio is because Allegio helped him get off them drugs.
She's gonna be on the run.
But then when Allegio
welcome
Tron
back,
the way
Will.
he
Welcome
did,
in the building.
I knew there was only going to be a matter of time before Tron ended up waking up and realizing what was going on. It's only going to be a matter of time for True wake up, True eventually, because True is no different than Tron. Tron and True to me
She
were the
is
same
gonna
person.
jump ship. She's gonna
So
be on the
if
run.
you look at all of them, each one of them reminds me of one of the ex-members of Melanation. Now, I'll give you an example.
Here we go.
Tron and True are just alike. They're
Two
just
total
alike.
strangers to her.
Tron is a very gentle soul.
Really?
And
She
if
knows
I'd have
Tron.
met Tron a long time ago, he's somebody I probably would date, believe it or not.
What? You hear that,
He is
y'all?
a very gentle spirit and very sweet, kind person.
Really? She's a good judge of character.
I'm not going to date now, but I'm just saying if I'd have seen him away from all this craziness, and plus I'm older. So
Yeah, she just making it up. Now she want to give Tron fellatio.
Tron, when I say Tron held him down, when you look at Tron,
How would she know this?
Omac was no different. Omac held Allegio down. And what did Allegio do? He took Velvet from Omac. Every woman that Tron got involved with, he took from Tron. Sheba, he keeps taking Sheba back and giving her back to True whenever he gets tired of her. So at the end of the day, I think with Joy, the only reason that Joy and Musa ended up together was because Joy was going to leave because of the thing with Velvet. Because let me tell you what they didn't tell you about that situation. When Joy first got there, Joy didn't have a problem with polygamy. She didn't have a problem with the rest of the women. Who she had a problem with was Velvet. And Velvet always clock blocked when it came to Joy and Eligio. She didn't like the connection that Joy and Eligio had. So Joy had enough, and Joy was getting ready to leave. And so if you listen to the story that Pee Wee told and what she said about Musa, her, and Joy, that was not something that was just pushed upon. They did that.
This is the person who thinks porn is real.
Joy was the one that made the most money out of everybody after.
This is the person who think when somebody auditioned for porn in a video that is real.
Joy made the most money, so Joy became the person that did all the money. She's the one that made sure the Airbnbs, all of that. I think they were in her name, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they were. They were in her name. Because Joy had the money. And so Joy was supposed to get a lump sum of money. Don't ask me, I know this, but don't trust me on this. Joy got raped in the military, from what I understand. And the story is
Very
Joy
nuts.
was supposed to get a lump sum settlement from that particular situation that happened in the military. And I don't know if she got. So Joy is straight right now. But Joy gets money from a lump sum that something happened to her in the military. I'm not sure if she was raped, but something happened in the military.
Gossip.
And there was a lawsuit.
Hearsay.
From what I understand.
Rumors.
And nobody has ever denied this, so
They don't owe you an explanation.
Joy made the most money. So that's why that night when you saw that recording Joy had made, he took a big hit when Joy left. When Joy left, he took a big, very big hit.
Really?
Because the money that Joy was supposed to get.
Nobody in her chat is co-signing this. Nobody agrees in her chat. They don't even speak in her chat. They're all bots. She's been talking to herself for a couple of hours.
Everything up. When Joy left, it messed everything up. And everybody else over there don't have the money that Joy had.
Really?
That's why they had to go get them SBA loans. That's why he had to come to Bigo. Because the people that was his contributors all turned their backs on him.
Really?
They all saw him for what he is, and they left. So if you think Eligio is getting the money y'all think he getting, no. All that money he's spending now is money that he saved over the years.
What?
That is money that he has saved over the years. So he's not making money like that. Not at all. He really ain't.
Wow.
He ain't making no money like that. Don't let it fool you. So he's not making money like that.
Really?
He really ain't. So basically, that's the story. So that's why they're back over here. Eligio can't afford Puerto Rico, and not only that, he thought that when he left the first time,
you know what he's thinking,
in the first beginning of the situation,
that
it wasn't going to be like the United States. In other words, the laws, rules, and regulations. Well, it was
indeed,
cool
Evelyn. Now that's a
before Velvet got over
quote.
See, and that's the thing. He's not grasping. This is what I mean when I say mirror. Now understand, everything I'm saying is a mirror.
She feel like ignorance corrected is hatred.
I'm not going to do any of this. I'm just using this as basically examples. Everything I'm showing you is a mirror. So when I teach, y'all may think I'm going to do something. I ain't going to do none of this mess because I really ain't. Am I writing a story? Yes, I am. But I'm just saying, this is a mirror based upon what I'm saying when you are looking at yourself. These are things you could do. Now, does it mean that I'm going to do these things? No. But let me break something down that is fact. What I said about all of that is actually true. I could do that. Am I going to send these people to jail? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, do I want these kids to go without? No. So that's why I left. See, that's what I'm saying. What I'm trying to get you to see is how people leave things out until the end. So in the end, I'm gonna put everything into perspective. And this is how people really do deal with you. So you have to understand when I'm teaching this, it's gonna seem as if I'm gonna do things. It's gonna seem as if I'm gonna say things, but no, I'm gonna say the truth in the end.
That's the most retarded thing I ever heard in my life.
And the way that you need to break these down. You don't go off when you first hindsight 2020. Because you may see everything, but you don't acknowledge everything. This is when you start acknowledging everything. So what I'm doing right now, the first
nobody agrees with this. Nobody in the chat is co-signing.
And things that I could do. Now I'm
people afraid to chat
and pretty much breaking down the whole scenario of the situation. So I went from looking in the mirror at myself to now looking at what happened, which I did. Now it's, okay, this is what I can do. I can take these children, make a story out of it.
Children again.
Bring these kids in, and what does somebody do? The first thing they said is, oh, you're embarrassing the kids. No, I'm paying them so these kids can be taken care of while their parents in jail.
She wants your kids. She want to put you in jail and take your kids.
So,
she offered to
that's my point.
be Eliana's foster mom too. We got that video.
So when you're listening,
she been messing with people's kids for a long time. She told her ex-boyfriend kid that her titties were pillows.
The best thing to do is shut up until the person
her titties were pillows and he can lay on them anytime. These are his pillows.
In the end of what they're saying, that's when you're going to get the truth.
She let that happen.
You're not going to get it in the beginning. That's why when people tell you, hurry up and say, what? No. It don't work that way. You're not going to get the truth in the beginning. The first thing you're going to get when you first hear somebody talk, you're going to get the scenario of the situation or the presentation of the situation. I mean, if you look, okay, let's try this another one. For those of y'all who ain't grasping
the truth is simple. It's basic and it's brief. I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
What is the first thing that you see? A table of contents, right? What is the next thing that person does? They explain the situation. They break down the situation, right? In other words, in chapters, right? And then in the end, isn't there a conclusion?
Not.
What do you think a conclusion is?
Not in the real book. Maybe those ghetto ass novels in the grocery store.
Now take that to your real life. So when you meet people, right? Look at it as an introduction. Look at it as the same presentation. Look at it as a job interview. So understand when that person comes in there all dressed up, the whole point is for them to present something to you. It isn't until you get in that job that you have to show that you actually are what you.
Yeah, I agree, Evelyn. And y'all missed the good stuff, but I did screen record it. I did screen record it. It'll be a part 2 to the last video.
This whole situation, the whole time. But I'm talking about me. So, what you just saw me do is basically look myself in the mirror, look at a situation that happened to me, then look at how I can basically make something positive out of it, which gave me
the irony of this is this is a person who lacks self-awareness and self-reflection. She is the queen of irony.
This is all you see. Everything you're seeing me talk about right now is my reflection. What I'm looking at. Not what everybody else sees.
Oh yeah, she's been doing carbonation.
So when people come in here and they'll say,
using
well, you just gotta sit there. Shut up.
Carbonation mantras lately too.
This is my reflection. This ain't got nothing to do with me actually doing something. This is me in my mind basically going over what these people did to me and what I could do to their ass. Basically, I'm basically showing you what basically she was saying. put it this way, y'all ain't in front of me right now. So basically what I'm doing is what I really would do right now if I was sitting here right now and really just processing all of this. Everything that's happened. It's just the first thing that came up with was the thing about my son. And then the fact somebody said something about me posting about his little daughter. So that's me.
It's too late. You done talked about her daughter 3 times tonight, and you got her picture on your Big O.
To myself. And
so we already done. You already done reached the event horizon. You in trouble.
Into something positive.
You are running. You are the running woman. You just too ignorant to run, but your ass is grass. Because we know when you showed the naked pictures of the baby, we got a date and a timestamp.
But my decision was to do something positive. And that's why I said, you know what? If I don't put these kids' mamas in jail and daddies in jail, I might as well do something as my way to make sure these kids are taken care of. But see, you just automatically came in here, as y'all always do.
The irony is, she never put the guy in jail that actually did something to her.
Is what you want to hear and not what I just said.
The dudes that raped her never went to jail. The dude that treated her like Nature Boy never got dealt with.
Please explain that, because you make no sense.
She never sent Nature Boy to jail.
It don't make no damn sense.
And I got proof that she bugs the police a lot. She calls them like constantly. I got proof for that too.
You sit back and you look at everything that's happened, and you dissect every single side of it, including the codes. And that's when I would dissect all of that. And then I come with a consensus as far as what I think I need to do. And my decision is, based on all of that, what I just said, I'm putting their ass in jail.
She don't even remember what she said.
Put their kids
but look,
in the movie.
I'm going to let her talk while I'm working on these intros.
Mamas and daddies in jail.
Because it's getting late and I got to get up. So I'm going to let her rock. I know it's late or it's early for you guys too. So
this is what
I totally understand if you can't hang with her.
For the longest, and why I didn't put their ass in jail till now. This is why I kept telling them to quit. Because you have children. And it's bad enough that some of y'all are not even in your kids' lives now because you work. But you gonna get your ass on these cameras and mess somebody the way y'all mess for me. I think about your children. And for a lot of victims, that's what we think about.
The children, take note.
We don't just think about what happened to us. We think about the family on the other side and how they're gonna be without a child. You're gonna be sitting in a jail cell. Your child is gonna grow up without you.
Okay.
But see, you want to continue to come for me. And that's what I mean
by that. She the one really going to jail, right? That's the cold part.
That is dangerous.
She the only one to talk about people going to jail. And she the main one going.
But I'm gonna get into that.
Wait till this corona shit is over, because they don't really.
You don't realize that obsession.
They can't. Her town is broke. They can't afford to jail a non-violent criminal. That's the only reason why she's out right now. The only way she can go to jail now is if the feds get involved.
The appreciation, the value of a person. You will do anything for that. That is a worse drug than godforsaken cocaine. The love of somebody is a drug. It's just a different type of drug. Love is not like you take it, you sniff cocaine, you drink. No, love is an emotional drug. And the things that we're willing to do for love will get you in a world of trouble. But that's another story for another day. But how that all ties together is part of your reflection. So when you detox, you ain't just detoxing your body. You better detox your mind. All in all. So when you look in that mirror, don't just look at the physical side of you. Look at everything. Look at the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual things you've had to deal with. Because the whole point of you being alone is for you to reflect on you, for you to figure out what the world is going on with you and how far have you fell off and have you hit rock bottom. God will, you think you just randomly are alone. No, God put you there. God will give you everything, but you let me tell you something. Let me be real about something, and I'm gonna say this and take this to heart. However you got it is how you keep it or how you lose it. But some of us also give it away. And that is where the problem is. You are not supposed to give anything away that is a necessity.
Indeed, Evelyn, indeed.
If you can't afford to give it, then don't give it. If you can't afford certain things, don't act like you got it. It's all about what is a necessity. The problem is what you want is what's going to cause the confusion. Want versus need. Do you really need to be married? So you have to understand there's a difference between what the world expects of you and what you expect of yourself. And that's where the dilemma comes in at. It's either be of the world or be of yourself. Point blank, period. Now, before everybody flip the fuck out, everybody gonna run over there. No, I was just using Bodzilla as an example.
Oh, don't try to clean it up now.
No, I'm not gonna use her.
Don't try to clean it up now.
I'm not gonna do that.
You done cross the line.
But I'm using that as an example of what I could do. And that's my point. Words have no value. That's what I keep trying to tell y'all.
You know, even if she was right,
or where you,
if nobody agreed with you, you're still wrong.
Now, if I literally did
that,
then she'd have.
Unfortunately, she's wrong, and nobody agrees with her.
That's my point.
But even if she was right, if everybody around you don't agree with you, guess what? You're actually wrong.
In that particular instance, me thinking about what I could do. Just my first instinct, my first reaction to something.
So in an adult situation, hold on.
Is not something that's
in an adult situation, her first instinct is to talk about people's children and go for the children and use nursery rhymes and stuff in her shows to attract children. She's like own something. Like, what's her obsession with children? That's why her son doesn't live with her. Because she don't know how to deal with children because she's a child herself.
But I chose to do something that was different. And that was because regardless of what she did, I have to think about the fact of my freedom. And
wouldn't you think, well, she doesn't think at all, but life got to be hard if you got to preface everything that you say and then reiterate and re-explain after the fact. And we all know anything you say after the fact, yeah, she tried to take it back. Anything you say after the fact is irrelevant because it's after the fact.
Made me a difference. I will still be okay. But I will not be okay if I lose a limb. I will not be okay if I had, 6 months to live. I would not be okay with that. What makes you live longer is the choices that you make. And you making sure that you're making choices for the right reason and not because of everybody else. So when I sit down, I think about both sides of the things that I can do. And then I start, narrowing down, which you saw me do. Saw me narrowing down, breaking down everything she did, everything that will happen. And then me saying to myself, I got a child to think about. My child, and that's the first thing that comes to my mind. My child, my mom, my dad. And I have to think about what would my parents tell me to do without me asking them. What would God want me to do? And then I make my decision.
Bullshit.
So I don't react like that.
What's up, Kayla in the building?
I don't just jump and just get
Nah, she didn't go to sleep.
Somebody say something.
She been talking to herself for 3 hours.
Like,
but she gonna take you to court and take you to the police.
To you. Half the time they be up
she arguing with herself. She's bringing up non-arguments. She's laughing at her own jokes. She's patting her own self on the back. I'm a little envious because I wish I had that much confidence. I would need a fan. I would buy my own music. I would make myself platinum with that attitude.
The argument just keeps going on. My response is I'm done. Click. End the conversation. Because that's what my child is telling me to do. Don't get twisted. Don't think for a moment. People don't get mad. People don't get angry. It's just some people think about their freedom. They think about what's truly important. Their freedom. They think about the fact of being in jail. They think about the fact of how drugs and cigarettes and all of that impact their life. So when you open your third eye, this is when you learn how to think like that. When y'all in these third dimensions, you don't think like that. All you're thinking is, it's about my feelings. No, nobody cares about your feelings. Let me be real about something. Nobody cares about your feelings because you're the only one who feels them. Nobody cares. People don't have to care.
Okay, she right about that part. She scored on that one.
That person is not you. That's why you have to deal with those emotions.
Yeah. What's crazy though, for like a couple of hours, she kept looking at the chat to see if anybody agreed with her, because I can hear her walk over to the device. Not once this whole time anybody co-signed anything that she said.
Because then it's reciprocated. But as soon as you say the word I feel, that person gonna be like, I don't care. I don't care how you feel. You decide to be with it and take what come with it. But if you say, I don't appreciate the fact that you said this, then a person will know that, look, you don't like the fact that this person said what you said. It's better to just say I don't like than say I feel.
Bitch, please. This ain't got shit to do with feelings. It's only 50 states. A flat foot is a medical disability. Okay, the sky is blue because blue is the last color to filter through our atmosphere and our oxygen. Not because the ocean is blue. It's the light spectrum. You can do an experiment to prove that. All right. Hawaii wasn't a country 10 years ago. You can vote if you live in Alaska. I could go on for another 10 minutes. Nicaragua is in Central America. Anyway.
So all I'm saying to you is, stop letting negative people put you in a grave and, following behind these people. You don't understand. You have things to lose. So when you look at it, when you look at a person, if you don't see yourself, don't get involved in it. Now, when people got problems, I just tell them, look, all I'm going to do is tell you what to do. I ain't running with you. My friends know when it comes to negativity, anything negative, don't come to me with that. Because I'm not doing it. You're not bringing me involved in nothing that's you. So I ain't going to jail. Mm-mm. I'm not fighting your battles. So I get it. I do. I absolutely get it. That acceptance is something that we have been taught to want. The question is, do we really? The things that come with that, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to be accepted, honestly. Because then I'll end up letting go of what I need to do to focus more so on a group or an individual. But I get it. I do. The other time I wanted to be accepted at one time, liked, appreciated, valued. But then I had to think about my sanity. See, I already looked in the mirror. What made me change from being accepted, reputation, all of that was when I was alone. When you're by yourself, it's about you. It's not about reputation. You can't hurt yourself.
Yeah, well, she's a casualty of horror. See, earlier she was bragging about the 45 men she slept with. Her son has only met 4 of them.
And you just sit
she
back
was bragging
and
about 40. Her track record is 45 men. None of them wanted to marry her.
I don't care where you go in this world. You're not going to find too much differences from one country to another, which is what.
Now, she could be telling the truth because she lives near a military base.
He wouldn't be where he at right now.
You know, and those guys can get drunk enough to do whatever, but you know, I don't know. 45 men, I would be driving a Maserati, house paid for,
I get
hair transplant. Like, I mean, that's just me. I don't know.
All the stuff that y'all care about, I don't. I mean, are there days I get lonely? Of course. Are there days that I wish I could pick up the phone and call my friends? Of course. But now, I talk to them every now and again. Right now, all of my friends are going through the same thing I'm going through right now. We're all in our 40s. And right now, all of us right now are dealing with everything that we've been through, past and present. And right now, we're cleaning out. A lot of us are cleaning out our closets. And I don't mean cleaning house as far as cleaning house. I mean cleaning everything. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually. A lot of people are doing sexual cleanses, meaning getting little uni things. There's a thing I saw that Angela Simmons had. I might give me one of them so you sit on it and it basically steams your vagina. I'm gonna give me one of those. But a lot of people now in their 40s right now are doing exactly what I'm talking about.
This is not a fact. This is just a feeling that she has. Most of her statements are feelings that she has, but she speak on it as a matter of factly.
People now are like this. Yep. I ain't protecting nobody. I don't care if you lose your family and lose everything. You going to jail.
Hey, you know how funny it is that like she's going to jail, but we don't have to say it every day, all day to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I think I've only said it 3 times out of 2 years. She's going to jail, but we don't have to say it every time. I think that she thinks if she said all the time, every day, that it will become true, like wishing on a star. You know, she's very elementary in her thinking.
So, like I said, when you get my age, it's about research. You really sit down and you dissect everything. When I say you dissect everything, you dissect it all. You dissect the negative, you dissect the positive. And whichever one you feel that is the one you feel works for you, that's the one that you're going to do. You is not going to be sitting there falling in love because of emotion. You, when you first meet somebody, it's going to be like, I ain't having sex with you. It ain't none of that. It ain't, I'm getting up, put some clothes on, put some attention. I'm getting dressed because I want to look good for me. It's going to be more so I. And then when you, and not only that, you let go of fear. So a lot of people right now are letting go of fear. And now people are doing, now you're seeing now more older people doing what they love now than what they're just doing just to be doing. So now you're seeing more older people quitting their jobs. You see a lot of 40-year-olds now quitting their jobs. You seeing a lot of them, even people that make CEO positions are like, I now want to start a new business. You have people now that are doing what they love. They're not doing something just to be doing something. And that is something that the business world is not liking. This COVID virus broke a lot of people. So a lot of people now are not on acceptance anymore. They don't give a damn about acceptance. All they care about is I'm doing what I love, I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm doing what makes me happy.
No, that's just you. That's just your
Nowadays you
your
ain't even
crazy
looking
ass.
for anything anymore. It's whatever somebody brings in their life.
She never claimed her statements. It's always
So that's
this
what
mystical
today is
we,
about.
us, y'all, like Will
Today is
said.
about a new dawn, a new day.
The heart is the most deceitful thing, and our mouths
So the world is not going
speak
to go back to
what
the way
it
it
feels.
was. It's never going to go back to the way it was.
Indeed.
Even though and it is bad when you got government offering $1 million. That's nothing but business, people. The business world wants y'all to go back to work. Question is, what are you gonna do? The question is, what do y'all really want to do here? Do you want to go back to work, or do you want to basically stay at home? But if you stay at home, this is when you got to decide, how am I gonna make money? Now I'm gonna get into social media. How I can tell a lot of y'all are still very young-minded because you have no purpose. You have no intent as far as your life is concerned. You are sitting up here dogging other people out. And for what? And you're doing it for what? That's why I sit here and I shake my head every time people do stuff to me. I just feel sorry for them. Because me, I'm not doing that. I am not going to sit there and try
You're not
somebody
doing it because you're too lazy to do it, and you don't know how.
not.
You don't have the skill set. That's the only reason. You would have done it a long time ago, but you don't have the skills.
I'm just to the point I'm over the shit.
That's like somebody who has to take medication and says, I don't do drugs. Of course you don't do drugs because you had to take drugs all your life for whatever the fuck, epilepsy or whatever. Yeah. It's easy for you to say you don't do drugs because you hate drugs because you grew up taking drugs legally.
So, like I said, that mirror, you're looking at every day. So when you look at getting people around you, you're looking at people in the same places where you at. And I'm not talking about just mentally. I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about mentally. The physical right now does not mean a damn thing because everything is mental. Everything is mental, including every movement you make. So by you basing things on the physical, you're going to mess around and be dogged out and hurt every chance you get because you are basing yourself on an illusion that doesn't exist. People are brainwashing you every single day with a lie. That's why I tell people, wait for it. You know they say, I always say, wait for it.
Here comes a stupid statement. Wait for
Trust me. In 7 years of being with someone, I said the same thing. But me and my girlfriend said, we look back at our relationships, and I'm like, I thought I knew this person. You don't know nobody. You know they represent. You know they got a sick costume. You know they mask, but you don't know them. You don't know them until you know every struggle, every abusive relationship. That's when you know that person. When you know the negative about their ass. Because what matters is, can you handle negativity? I don't give a damn what you can handle positive. I want to know what you can handle negative. Are you going to be able to handle if you lose your job? Are you going to be able to be somebody that's going to be able to get up and get another one? Are you going to be somebody that's going to sit there and live off and leech off me?
Reef
do you know how to wash
in
clothes,
the building.
clothes? Do you know how to cook, clean for yourself? So that way I know what I need to teach you. Or am I going to have to be your mama?
Hey, y'all see that picture of Malia?
You need to ask yourself in all honesty. So it is not about the positive. It is about the negative. The positive never changes. Negativity does. And negativity is not going to present itself off the gate. It never does. You will always see the positive of somebody. Unless that person got physical. So let me break down why people want to change your flaws.
No,
and your
the picture on the screen. On the screen.
100 with this. The world don't like dirty. The reason they say image is everything because it keeps you from
Don't play with
truth.
me. Do not play with me.
Have you ever seen that movie that Natalie Portman played in? When she was a ballerina. And you saw they had that crack on her face.
I am not the one.
Honey, pay attention to movies like that. The reason that the work they want to look like that is because, like I said, it makes people, oops, I just dropped something. It makes people have to only see beauty. The reason why people don't focus on the mental, because they want you to continue going to therapy and continue making you take pills. Honey, how you think I got to be in depression? How you think I got out of depression? I didn't get out of depression by going to a therapist. I broke depression because I learned myself.
Take your ass back to the therapist. It didn't work. You can't do it yourself.
When you're an adult, I don't need therapy.
Shit.
You shouldn't even need therapy when you're a certain age because you done been through so damn much. Wisdom.
They should throw the book at you.
Wisdom. After a while, you don't need somebody
I got the
telling
cure.
you what to do.
Just take the book and just throw it at her.
Except when it comes to something you never experienced before. If you've been through it, then you don't need somebody to tell you anything. That's why you'll stop. You don't even have to go to nobody for advice when it comes to a boyfriend because you already know what to do. I don't even know why half of y'all still be asking for advice. I'm like, ain't you old enough to make your own choices? Welcome to Forbidden Knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Forbidden knowledge is not something that you're taught. It's just something that you know. See, knowledge is not really what you read. Knowledge is what you experience. Intellect is what you read. In other words, when you research something. Education is
word up.
A skill, something that you learn that's going to help you as far as a skill is concerned. I told you everything I teach is based on what God taught me. I learned through God. I didn't learn through all this. I'm somebody funny enough that don't even read a book and I still know how to do things. It's amazing.
Wow, you hear that?
I don't need books at this point.
That's what Nature Boy said. I don't trust nobody
what?
who don't need books.
I don't. I'm 47 years old. I don't need books anymore.
You hear that? Because you can't read.
I don't need books anymore.
What would you do with them?
Skim through it. I don't even read it.
Stand on them?
Because you when you open your third eye, the answers are already there. The answers, every answer you want to know about everything is in your head.
Sound God like Nature Boy.
Everything in your head. You just don't trust yourself. So let me fuck you up some more.
Team Nature Boy.
Somebody just open your third eye. Let me explain something. You don't have to read a book.
She want to be chiefess.
You don't have to need. You're not gonna need advice. You just gotta trust yourself. So let me break it down to you. Nobody is supposed to lead you nowhere after the age of 8. After you are ready to. When I say this to you, I'm gonna blow your world sky high.
Really?
You're not grown when you're 18.
Nobody's blown in her chat room.
You ain't grown till you're 30.
Nobody is co-signing in her chat room. Nobody agrees. Nobody's commenting. Nobody's saying, yeah, girl, you right. That's right.
It is.
Amen. Ain't nobody saying that in her chat room.
18. Not spiritual. Not mental. Only legally. Okay? Your kids are not grown at 18. Why? Because your kids ain't even moved out the house yet. They're not grown till they're married. Your kids are not grown until they're married, until they have children. That's when they're grown. When they're able to raise their own children. That's when they're grown. So you're still responsible for them until the day you walk that child down the aisle, and to the day they have a child. In other words, they done graduated college. They're in their career. In other words, they're in their first apartment. When they're in their first apartment and about 6 months of being in that apartment, then they're grown.
This is some of my best work right here.
You let go when your child knows self-defense and know how to whoop somebody's ass.
I'm also offering my troll services if anybody needs someone to
handle relationships.
You know what I'm saying? Make troll products for them. Just hit me on the back. Hit me on the back end.
That's when you let go. Till then, your child is no different than mine being disabled. You learn this from having children with disabilities. See, when you have children with disabilities, your whole philosophy changes. Why? Because your kid ain't like the rest of theirs. And that's how I learned everything that I know right now. I didn't learn all of this in a book. I learned this from my own child. So no, your child is not ready, regardless of disability or not, until your child is on their own and they're thriving and they're thriving and you ain't got to worry about them coming to you for advice. You know they got it. Only time they come to you is when they question themselves and they doubt themselves. And that's when you reassure them that, baby, we're going to go through this together. Our mistake is, as parents, we try to make them live our dreams.
We do?
Welcome to America.
Okay.
When you open your third eye, you gonna realize all the answers are in your head. You ain't got to go search for nothing. You only search for the things that you choose to know. So there are some things that are just common sense. In other words, critical thinking, common sense, and common judgments. So when you expand your mind, it is all about you verifying what you already know in your head. That's all it is. Instinct. What do you think your instincts are? A lot of y'all don't like to use them. You don't trust yourself. And that's why people do what they do to you, because they don't want you to trust yourself. How can you love yourself if you don't have no faith in yourself, you don't trust yourself, you don't believe in yourself, you don't like yourself, because you can't accept yourself, flaws and all. And the reason they want to change you is to control you. There. I said it. There. That's why they want y'all to do plastic surgery and all this stupid shit. You're an experiment. You're a damn experiment. All that makeup, you are an experiment. In other words, money. Anything they can do to get you to spend money. But by you doing that, you are sacrificing your mental health.
You aggravated my allergies.
That's why I don't mess with makeup. That's why anything that I make money off of is something that's really going to help people.
That's one hell of a
Why
mic.
do you think the industry now don't like vegans?
What's up, Sparkle?
Because you can grow your own food.
What's up, man?
If everybody went and grew their own food, then guess what? There will be no grocery stores.
Get sleep.
That's why they don't want a large amount in certain fields. Because everybody right now made their own money.
Somebody said something.
Then no one would be. What? Okay,
somebody in the chat said, I moved out at 17 years old.
Why they rushing y'all back to work?
That person going to get blocked. They're haters.
If everybody actually cooked at home, there will be no fast food restaurants. If everybody actually could work on themselves, there would be no therapists. Jobs come from a need. So if there's no need for it, then it disappears. So I was watching Young and Restless yesterday, and Jack was saying to Kyle's baby mama that when he grew, because he likes butterflies and science and stuff. If you want
you ain't gotta change the subject. Let's get back to the kids you've been talking about all this time.
Makeup to whatever. Most makeup is made by chemists. Believe it or not, a chemist. A lot of people don't know that, but it's not these celebrities that make makeup. It's a chemist.
What?
Chemists are the ones that make makeup.
Chemists make makeup and hair products?
I know this, and I'm going to a lot of people mad.
Damn, she just told us something. Chemists make makeup. So they probably make shampoo and shit too, huh? Twist and lock gel.
Stuff you're seeing, it's already made.
Next, she's gonna tell us that black hair products come out of Atlanta.
It's no different.
Oh, mostly all black hair products come from Atlanta.
Celebrities go and they buy makeup from chemists. Because chemists basically make makeup for the most part. So these chemists already make makeup, no differently than you buy jewelry that's already made, clothes already made, and sell them. Makeup's no different. A regular person can't make makeup.
What?
But you can buy it. So what it is, you have different chemists.
A regular person can't make perfume either, I guess.
Makeup. And depending on which chemist makes what type of makeup, most people will hire a chemist to make makeup. And they get paid, don't get me wrong, they get paid a lot of money to make it, but they're not the person that's going to promote it.
Well, what's what you need?
So in other words, a business person like Revlon and all of them can pay for that package, for that makeup. And that chemist just makes different makeup and gets paid a lot of money.
Without any shame.
But they don't own it once they sell it.
My biggest fear is to talk about something I don't know about.
So you're not going to see
she has no shame and no fear.
That's going to be not only making the product, but also selling the product. So all they do is they make the product and they sell it to these companies. Or they'll hire a chemist to make makeup for them.
This is some game right here.
And they make millions off of it. But don't get me wrong, that chemist gets paid out the ass. Some of them even get a stock or royalties for basically their products. But that chemist does not own their own makeup line or whatever. It's very seldomly that you'll see a chemist that actually owns their own makeup line. For the most part, they just sell their products off to these major companies and they make millions off of it. And they'll buy the patent for the makeup. So that way they can put it in the stores. So if you think that Rihanna and all of them just make these designs, they don't make shit. There's someone getting paid to do that.
A dangerous game indeed.
And that's my point.
And she's talking to herself because she never acknowledged the chat. People don't even bother chatting.
When you yourself can actually own your own business and actually do the actual work. So that's what I want to understand. You're making other people money. All these people did the whole thing of business has stolen other people's ideas. That's how business has always been. Bigger companies always steal from little people and make millions off of it. It's always been that way. And that's my point. You're feeding into something that you know is not right, but you yourself are still feeding into it.
Gotta go to bed.
I don't feed into any of it personally. Because I already see it for what it is. My eyes are wide open. So I pay attention to basically about everything. So, so you're not dealing with someone that's not a true thinker. I don't go off my emotions when I do make decisions. And that's why I say I don't stress out as much. When you learn that your emotions are just actions to express what you're feeling. Like I said, reality. Welcome to your mirror. That's why I tell you a lie is truth, the truth is a lie. A lie is always going to be in the beginning. And that's why people like me, a lot of people don't like, because we're not going to conform to that philosophy. We ain't trying to.
Oh, thank you very much, Evelyn.
I say, I do.
And thanks everyone for checking in and hanging out. I know it's early. I need to go to bed. I gotta get up in about 5 hours.
I stopped watching Lizzo because something she said that caught my attention, and I'm very attention to detail. So I sat there and watched Lizzo. I said, this girl wants to be no different than Beyonce. Lizzo does not want to be a big girl. She doesn't. She wants to be a small girl. She put it this way. She walked into something, and on one hand, she may say, "Oh, I want to be, yep. I like being a big girl, blah, blah, blah." No, you don't like being a big girl. I want Lizzo to stop lying to herself. Lizzo does not want to be a big girl. Lizzo wants to be like Meg Thee Stallion. She wants to be. Now, I'm not saying that Lizzo wants to be a skinny girl, but Lizzo does want to probably be the size of Meg Thee Stallion. Lizzo may like who she is as far as who she is, but like anybody else that's unattractive, you still want companionship.
Yeah. Welcome to the Terror Dome.
But I'm gonna tell you from experience.
I'm in the studio working on intros, but it's time to shut it down.
If you were a big girl when people knew you, that's all they're gonna see you as a little girl. They're gonna always remind you of that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why people say, oh, you can change, you can grow only to yourself. Only to yourself. Other people, like I've had ex-boyfriends of mine, and this is from experience. I've had ex-boyfriends of mine not date me.
She interrupted herself. Let me say this.
So, no, that's a lie.
Yeah, it's true, Risa.
You know, you believe in yourself. That's a lie.
I've never heard someone interrupt themselves before.
That's only towards yourself. So you have to separate how you feel about yourself versus how other people see you. And understand when you walk out that door, it is not about how you see yourself. It's about how everybody else sees you. And you have to decide if that's something you want to live with, or you want to just say, fuck it, I'm just going to be alone the rest of my damn life and call it a day.
Hey, what a way to end the show. We're going to end it right there. And she said that in a nutshell. And that was the quote of the day. Thanks, Observing Stuff and Reef and everybody who showed up. C. Wilson, Evelyn, and I Am King Monica, and Coffee Cakes, and anybody I might not see. Big Willie Style was in the building. And shout out to the people in the background that might not have said anything. Blue Rains, Peace, and Hair Grease. We will do this again. I want you to know that Ebonic Man is on the job. It's going to be a LaTanya Jones week because when the cat's away, the mouse will play. My wife is out of town, so it's going to be a LaTanya week. So check out his lordship every night, okay? Cool. Thanks for rolling through. His lordship, man, barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first Ebonic Man. His lordship will be that man, better than he was before, better, stronger, faster,